Okay, so this is a review of my CDF11 Dometic camping fridge. It's one of the smallest camping fridges you can buy. It's only 10.5 litres, so really that's about as small as you could probably get away with if you're off camping. The sort of place where you've got access every day to go to a shop of some sort so that you can get some food, because what you're going to be able to keep in here is perhaps a few cans of beer, maybe 5 or 6 cans of beer, some milk, some butter, you get some cheese and some salad and some meat or fish, that kind of thing. But you're really not going to get a full shop in here by any means. The reason I bought this particular unit is firstly that it works very well. It's able to freeze or chill items, and the chiller that I'd got before, a cheaper model that works with a fan, basically just keeps things slightly cool. It doesn't really keep things cold enough for you to be able to rely on. It's reckoned to be very, very efficient, and I want to test that, but it's reckoned to be efficient to the level of about 0.7 amp hours per hour, which is about 8 to 9 watt hours every hour. So a reasonably chunky leisure battery should be able to run it for several days on that basis without difficulty, and you'd be doing well to get more than half a day with one of the chillers. And its size, so it's designed to fit comfortably between the two front seats of a van or indeed some cars, and that I think is what these cup holders here are all about. Just a convenient place to put a cup if you've got this situated between your front seats. So really I want to test two things. Firstly, I want to get a sense of the real world power draw. I'm going to run it in there with the food that you've seen for a few days, and I'll be opening the lid because I'm going to be helping myself to milk and things of that sort. And I'm going to use this watt meter here to power it throughout that period and see just how well it runs, to what extent it is keeping to that level of only 8 or 9 watt hours per hour as it's supposed to do. Right then, so 6 days have passed now, a total of 144 hours all told, and as you can see, hopefully, just about from the watt meter, the Dometic fridge is still running at about 1 watt per hour, 1 watt hour per hour. When the compressor kicks in, which it does on a fairly regular basis, probably at least once an hour, it turns up to about 33 watts. So you're seeing a variable amount of power consumption. But over the full period of time that we've been running, we can see that we've used 960 watt hours. That's 0.96 kilowatt hours, or 960 watt hours. And what that works out at is roughly 6 2/3 watt hours every hour. And that's really impressive in my view. It's lower than the amount that the manufacturer states would be the case. And it's really a tremendously efficient way of powering a fridge, much lower than using a front loader fridge where all of the cold air will fall out of the thing every time you open it, many of which are running 20-30 watt hours every hour, if not more. So much more efficient than you'd otherwise see. And really, less than a kilowatt hour over 6 days means that with a couple of decent leisure batteries in a van, you could keep going for the best part of a week, or with a large lithium battery, very much the same. Now that's taking power from AC, which is actually less effective and less efficient than running direct for DC. So the next test is to unplug this and plug in instead my little Beaudens solar power charger, solar power station. Now the Beaudens is only 166 watt hours. So it's a very, very small power station. You can see from the size of it in my hand that this is a small item, and it's dishing out a fairly low level of power, frankly, but at this rate I'm going to suggest that we should see between 20 and 24 hours of usage before it runs out. Very much depends exactly how much capacity the Beaudens is going to give. I don't know the answer to that yet. But by running it DC to DC, so just plugging the normal cigarette lighter type plug direct into the Beaudens, we're not losing the power that we would do with the transformer as we do when we're using AC. So we should see even more efficiency. So hopefully we'll see quite a substantial saving. We might see nearer to 24 hours rather than 20. So let's just power it up. And we can see that the DC power there has come on. It's showing that it's running 12 volts. And whilst it's been off, the Dometic has warmed up very slightly. So that's showing up to 2 degrees C now. And so the compressor has come on. So it is getting on for, it's 5:30. So yeah, exactly 144 hours since we started the previous experiment, and we'll see how long this runs for, running from the little Beaudens power source. And we were able to run that for fully for 21 hours on a single charge. So my feeling is that that gives us, with the Beaudens power pack, a pretty useful backup if we're out camping. And we know that if we need to use the power pack over a night, we'll get through the night and have time the next day to get somewhere where we can begin to get charged up again. So I think in summary, I'm really happy with the Dometic fridge. I think it works very well indeed. Very, very nice in terms of the fit in the camper, and just so impressed by the low power usage. And with the power pack, I think it's a really useful addition. It's obviously an absolutely tiny amount of power, only 166 watt hours, but actually really useful as a backup, and enabled me to get more or less an extra day out of the fridge if that was needed. So I think both of these work well together and will be coming with us when we next go camping.